For this site, there will be 165 homes.
All over the country, legal battles like this. John Wotton has been trying to save these fields between two housing developments. The cost to campaigners like him limited because of a little-known international law.
Could you have brought the case to try and stop these houses if taxpayers didn't step in to pay some of the costs of the opposing side?
We would have had to think very carefully about whether we could impose that financial risk on the charity.
Behind you there's a housing development, in front of you there's a housing development. What difference really would it make if there were some here?
If you take that argument to its extreme, you can always build another estate. You can always extend the right to challenge decisions taken by public bodies, including ministers, is a vital democratic right.
60 metres behind me, urgently needed housing is being constructed. But in this field here, nothing, even though it's 4 years since planning approval was given. 200 metres that way, another housing development. The story of why there aren't shovels in the ground right here, right now, helps explain why Britain struggles to get building.
Sky News has been reporting for months about a £10,000 cap on costs, which is stopping building. That's because Britain has signed up to the Aarhus Convention to help environmental challenges. In this case, the developers won against the campaign group, with taxpayers again picking up the tab. Berkeley Homes said the system was incredibly slow, uncertain, and the situation was absurd. Not least because of the way Britain interprets the Aarhus Convention, which is unique. This lawyer, who has represented government and campaigners, said the convention means more legally adventurous claims.
There shouldn't be challenges going through which are an attempt to relitigate the planning merits, because the judges have been incredibly clear this is not for them. That said, it's not uncommon for disappointed people in the planning system to effectively try and relitigate the case.
Remember this man, Andrew Boswell, who Keir Starmer made the poster boy for NIMBYs, challenging big infrastructure projects. Years of this site staying desolate after he challenged a carbon capture and storage project due in Teesside. In the last few weeks, his case thrown out.
So the judgment handed down by the court behind me was scathing. It says that Dr. Boswell's approach is, we think, a classic example of the misuse of judicial review in order to continue a campaign against a development once a party has lost the argument on the planning merits. So more costs, more delays on a case that judges seem to think should not have been brought.
Several government figures have told me they think our Aarhus membership is mad, but it's the Tories who are demanding action.
We've got to reform the planning system, and we've got to ensure that judicial review is not used to gum up the system. And this convention is clearly one of the issues that has to be addressed.
Should we pull out? How could we reform it? What should we do?
We either reform it, if that's possible. I'm very sceptical. If that isn't possible, then we absolutely should think about leaving.
The government wants 1.5 million new homes in 4 years. That's the time it's taken arguing over this site here. Can ministers meet their goal without real change? Sam Coates, Sky News, Cranbrook in Kent.